quickly do my intro. We've just started class. Welcome to another Verbling class. Tonight's class is on marketing. How do we identify our market? What is our product?
What is my
And
product?
how do we communicate with that target market? That's what we're going to talk about today. Essentially marketing fundamentals, but it's better than that because what we're going to do is we're going to focus on Apple and Samsung. I think many of you may know that Apple is getting ready to release some new products. So it's always a good time to speculate about how Apple's going to market these products. You guys will try to convince me at the end of the class why you think Apple makes a better product or why Samsung makes a better product. And then on Monday or Tuesday, you can watch the Apple keynote and watch how they deliver their marketing message. So I'll talk a little bit about this in a minute, but first let's see how you guys are doing. So Marco, how is your week so far?
My week was good. I just come back from my holidays, my summer holidays,
Nice.
and then I'm looking for a job. And on Monday I'm going to have a application. I don't know, a meeting with a firm that they're actually selling marmo. I don't know the word, like a stone that you can cover your bathroom. It's just very famous in Italy.
Well, you should know that tomorrow I have a class on job interviews and how to prepare for questions. That's tomorrow.
What time?
Well, it's a good question. I can't tell you what time it is because we're all in different time zones. However, if you go to my teacher page, it'll show you the exact date and time. So that link there shows you the exact date and time of class.
Yes.
So check that out tomorrow. Hello, Edson.
Hello, Simon. Good afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening, and I feel like going to bed.
Yeah, really? Why?
Really. I didn't get much sleep last night. I'm exhausted. And it's one of those days where I kind of wish my class was 2 hours earlier, but that's okay.
Yeah, but you can change it at last minute, or no?
That's a good point. I'm actually going to cancel class. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
No. No, I mean an hour or 2 hours ago.
No, I don't do that to you guys. Unless it's urgent, I'm not about to cancel classes on the same day.
Well, now I feel bad because you didn't sleep really well.
Well, you should.
Okay, I do.
No, that's fine. You're going to have a child, a baby. You're going to have sleepless nights every now and then.
Oops.
Edson, do you have a smartphone?
Yes, I have a smartphone.
Oh, what brand is it?
I have a Galaxy, a Samsung.
Okay, so do you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, good. It's good to know because we're gonna.
Actually, I read a couple articles to prepare myself for this class. So
excellent, good. Because I'll have you argue both sides. Okay.
Okay.
Abel. Abel.
Yes, sir.
How is your day?
Oh, very exhausting, but a great day. Although it was a great day.
Good, good. Even though
it was a great day because it was very productive and I couldn't finish a lot of things that I remain open and that was causing me a little stress.
Okay, well, hopefully you have a relaxing day tomorrow, ready for the weekend.
Yeah.
Now, Abel, I need to ask you a personal question.
Yeah,
Do you have a smartphone?
yeah, I got it. I got it. I have one.
What brand?
BlackBerry.
BlackBerry. Hey, me too.
Yeah, it's a Canadian brand.
Yes, it is. Thanks for supporting our Canadian company that is doing so well. Excellent. Well, good, because you're obviously looking at Apple and Samsung through different eyes. Okay, so you're a potential customer in this market.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And Mario just joined us. Hello, Mario.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, Mario. Remind us, where are you from?
I'm from Mexico City.
That's right. Mexico City. So it's what, 7 o'clock?
Yes, 7 o'clock.
Excellent. Mario, we're going to be talking about marketing tonight, and we're going to use a real life example. To help me prepare for this class, could you tell me what kind of smartphone you have?
What smartphone I am use?
That you have, yes.
I am use a Samsung.
Okay, so
Samsung is Smart.
Samsung phones and one BlackBerry. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about marketing. Can anybody tell me what a target market is?
The target market is the market that you want to sell your product, that you think are the people that are going to buy your product.
Well, you would hope so. So let's think of it this way. We've got a market, the whole market. So we have what we call the cell phone market. We might even call it the mobile phone market, right? Because we have cell phones and we have something called feature phones and smartphones. They're all based off what we call microwave technology. A smartphone is a modern cell phone that has more power than computers 10 years ago. It does everything for you. You probably do more on it than you do making phone calls. A feature phone is a cell phone that you use primarily for making calls and texting. It's not good for the internet or playing music or videos. And a cell phone is just a generic term. So we'll just call it the mobile phone market. That includes everybody that has a mobile phone. Okay? It could also include people that are looking to get a mobile phone. So we have this huge market. So if I'm Apple, well, do I want to advertise to everybody? And if I'm Samsung, I'm asking the same question, as well as BlackBerry. Who am I trying to sell my product to? Who have I made this product for, is the first thing to ask. So I want to pick on Abel for a minute. You have a BlackBerry phone.
Yeah.
Who is the BlackBerry phone primarily made for?
This is especially made for businessmen, I guess.
Yeah. So their target market would include people in business, executives, lawyers, accountants, business people, bankers, basically anybody that works for a living, that needs to use a phone for work purposes. Okay, so the target market for BlackBerry is business customers. Okay, so I'll write that down. Okay, Edson.
Yep.
Let's try and think of people that are in business. What would you say the average age range is for business people?
For business people, I think they are around maybe 40 years old, 35, 30, between 30 and 40 maybe. And
okay,
over.
so you think most of them are between 30 and 40?
Yep.
Okay. I would even say, you know what, let's go from 30 to 55.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so notice what we're doing. We're taking this huge cell phone market and we're narrowing it down to business people between the ages of 30 and 55.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a better idea. We know that our target market is business people between the ages of 30 and 55. Okay, but we don't know much else. Now, Apple and Samsung, if they're smart, they'll find out a bit more about their customers. What do their customers want? So let me ask this question to Marco. If I'm a BlackBerry customer, what matters most to me?
That I can achieve the other target markets, like younger people.
No, I mean, I honestly, as a customer of BlackBerry, I couldn't care less about that. That's more something that BlackBerry's concerned about, but not me as a customer, right? So I want to know what the customers of BlackBerry devices are most concerned about.
What about the business application? I don't know, the businessman cares about, I don't know, financial application, or
Okay, some of them maybe, but not all of them. Mario, what do you think the most important selling feature of the BlackBerry is for business customers? Mario? All right, let me just ask the question to anybody. If you're a BlackBerry customer, you're a business customer, what do you think you value most of all in a BlackBerry device?
practicity.
Sorry?
Practicity. That is has to be fast and has to be easy
Okay,
to.
fast, practical, that's good, but I don't think that would be the main thing. You're close. What is it that, well, let's ask somebody who has a BlackBerry. Abel, what do you think attracted you most to the BlackBerry platform?
Internet platform, web.
Was the first one that has his own messaging, free messaging service.
Okay, so a free messaging service.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me tell you guys what most of the business market that has a BlackBerry likes BlackBerry. One of the biggest reasons is the security behind the device. BlackBerry is the only company that actually has its own servers that monitors and protects. So people feel much more secure with their information on a BlackBerry network. Governments use it. Okay, so we can add to that, we have government customers as well. So what BlackBerry did is when they were younger, they marketed themselves to businesses. Look, you guys can do messaging, you can email each other, and it's secure. Your corporate secrets won't be stolen. Your government secrets won't be stolen or intercepted. Sounded pretty good. And you could write off the expense, so it didn't matter. But then BlackBerry decided to market to the consumers, ages 10 through 90. It was a very different market, much more fickle.
Fickle?
Fickle meaning, well, today we want high-speed internet, tomorrow we want faster downloads, the day after that we want Facebook, the day after that we want something completely different.
How do you know the fickle?
The constant change?
It's constantly changing. Fickle means, well, children are known to be fickle.
Can you write fickle, please?
Yeah, and it's an adjective to mean changing frequently.
No, can you write fickle?
Right?
Fickle.
So the consumer market is a lot more fickle than the business market. Remember, business, I don't care. As long as I can make a call, send or receive messages, and email, that's all I care about. And give me a keyboard. I don't care anything else. Videos, so what? YouTube, Facebook, couldn't care less. Make sure my business is secure and that I can communicate whenever I need to. Okay, so that's BlackBerry. Now, Apple and Samsung, let's focus on these guys. Do they know their target market? Okay, these are the people they want to sell to. But also, do they understand their product? And do they understand why people want their product? Apple and Samsung have to anticipate what the market wants. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, for Apple and Samsung, where these guys get in trouble is they get, well, caught up in themselves. They think, I've got the greatest product. All I have to do is keep producing them. I don't really have to worry about development and research. I can just focus on marketing. All right? Now, what's very important in marketing is you need to understand your target market, but you also need to advertise and communicate with that market. Just because you came out with the iPhone doesn't mean that everyone's always going to buy it. And same with Samsung. You need to take the time to create a unique, okay, here's an important word, unique. A unique selling point. Okay? So you may know your market. Hit people that love new technology, technology that's easy to use without having to think about it. People who enjoy modern things, social networking, internet, games, interactivity. So you need to create a selling proposition. Now, how some companies do this is they just think, sit back and go, what will consumers want tomorrow? Others will say, what do our consumers want today? Now, I asked Abel about his BlackBerry. What I was doing by asking him these personal questions is I was gaining information about him as a consumer and what he wants in a smartphone. Okay? So if we want to be able to target a message, a commercial, or an email, or a television spot, maybe something on the radio, maybe I do a product placement in a TV show or movie. I need to understand my market, and I need to communicate a message. Apple quite often shows people going about their lives enjoying it with the use of their technology. Okay? Samsung focuses on features. The important thing is you need to reach out and find out what your customers want. And what you guys are going to do is you're going to practice on me. I'm a consumer. I'm looking at buying 1 or 2 smartphones for me and my wife. And what I want you guys to do is to take turns asking me questions. Try to find out what it is I want in a new phone.
Okay.
And then I want you to market to me. Okay? I want you to try to sell me on either an Apple phone or a Samsung phone.
Okay.
Now, what's happening on Tuesday? Can anybody tell me what is happening on Tuesday?
Tuesday?
Yeah, in the mobile technology world. What's happening Tuesday?
Oh, Samsung, I guess, or I don't know if Samsung or Apple, but one of them or both maybe are going to present their new products.
Well, we know that Apple has booked a meeting, a large, very large conference hall, much bigger than previous, and we know they're going to come out with new products.
Yep.
Okay. So this is a great class to attend today because I want you guys on Tuesday to watch the keynote. Because Apple is incredible when it comes to selling their technology. They do it in a way that you want it even if you don't need it. Okay? So what I want you guys to practice today is getting information from me. Find out what it is I want in a phone.
Okay.
And then I'll give you a couple of minutes to try and sell me on one of these devices. Now, you can choose Apple or Samsung, but then I also want you to try to sell me on the other product a little later, okay?
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and start with Abel. You get to ask the first question. We'll do this for about 10 minutes. Remember, choose your questions carefully and remember my answers. Because if you want me to buy your product, you need to know what it is I want and need. Abel, go ahead.
Okay. What purposes you use to use your mobile phone?
Oh, what do I use my phone for? Well, I would have to say the most important thing about a phone is that it's there when I need it to communicate, which means I need battery life. My current phone died on me at work and I was without it all day long. That's not acceptable. I need a phone that can last a long time to communicate. Edson.
What else do you do with your phone? Do you watch videos? Use applications like WhatsApp or Viber or?
Not really, no. I find that there aren't a lot of applications for it, so what I use it mostly for is email, using it to make calls, and checking my calendar. And text messaging. That's about all I use it for.
Okay, so on the street you don't use your phone to send messages through the internet?
No, I use text
using...
messaging.
Oh,
Just
okay.
use text messaging.
Okay.
Okay. Marco, you're up next.
Yes. My question is very simple. Do you like it to have the best technologies and the most beautiful phone to fill all your needs?
Well, who's going to say no to that? I will say this, though. While I want the best technology, the technology it must be good for me. I mean, it's got to work. I don't want to have to pull a battery. It's annoying. Why should I have to pull a battery? I don't want to have to troubleshoot it. I want it to work, and I want it to be simple to use.
Yes, so you want the best technology to fill your needs.
Well, no, it's not that I want the best technology. I want technology that is simple and easy to use, and that's not always the best.
The best technology that fits for your needs.
Well, you're being vague.
What?
You're being vague.
Vague?
Vague.
What is vague? I don't understand.
Well, best technology, what does that mean? It's too subjective. I'm trying to clarify what I mean by best technology, and you're kind of arguing with me and trying to get me to see your point. As a customer, you need to see my point. To me, the best technology is not the smartphone with the fastest processor, the most amount of RAM, the largest screen. To me, the best technology is technology that just works. For example, in my home, if I pick up a phone and make a call, it's simple, it's easy, I know how to do that. My television, turn it on, change channels, change the volume. It's easy. I don't need to call up a TV maker to get help using a TV.
And
I
what?
expect my phone to be the
What
same.
yes. What is for you the main needs you want to fit with your mobile phone?
Good question, but let me go back to Abel. We each take a turn, and I'll come back to you. Abel, your next question, please.
Okay, what do you prefer? That the screen on your cell phone will be small, medium size, or large size?
That's a tough one. I move around a lot. I drive, I walk, I take the bus. So I need a small phone, something I can have on my hip that doesn't take up a lot of space. I don't want some stupid large device. It's not very practical.
Mm-hmm.
However, when I'm using a larger screen, it's easier to use, but for most of the time, I just need something that's compact. So
Mm-hmm.
a smaller screen,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I do want a larger screen, it's just not very practical.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, Abel, wouldn't you like to walk around with a 52-inch smartphone screen? No,
No.
but it would look good, wouldn't it? Right? So
But
that's kind of what I'm getting at.
it depends on your principal usage for that.
Yeah, it's mostly the reason I use a phone is to communicate with people.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a good phone, I'll use it to access the internet, for maps, all of these things. Okay? But it's mobile. It needs to be easy to travel. Okay? Big screens are great, but I just don't find them very practical for me. Edson, your turn.
Okay, well, these days people are using their cell phones not just for taking phone calls and messaging, they are also using it for taking pictures. Do you think that's a feature you would like to have in your cell
Actually,
phone?
yeah. You know what? If it's my current phone is just not very friendly or easy to work with, but if I could have a really good camera and software that was easy to use and upload my pictures, yeah, that would be very handy.
Okay, and would you prefer to upload these pictures on a computer, I mean in a service like Dropbox, or would you
No,
rather connect it through cable?
no, I don't trust a lot of these cloud services. Essentially, I just want to either email it to myself or a friend, or just wirelessly connect to my computer to download.
Okay. Okay, I think I can help you.
All right, thank you. And Marco.
Yes, I want to do the last question that you answered.
Okay, go ahead and ask me again, please.
What is for you the main,
Feature?
the most important, yes, the most important features for a mobile phone? For
Staying in
your,
touch. So again, back to communication. This can involve many different technologies. One, easy to make a phone call. I'm not suffering dropped calls. People can get a hold of me without automatically going to voicemail. But
yeah,
also through other technologies, if I'm out with my wife or a friend and I'm trying to figure out, I'm at one end of the mall, they're somewhere else, or I need to pick up my wife, I'd like to look at my phone and be able to see where these people are through some sort of tracking feature. But a
would,
feature that's not, how shall we say, creepy. Each person can determine whether they want to be tracked or not. But that would be handy. The ability to message any one of them, regardless of what platform they're on, to be able to send pictures or video.
and
Mapping, turn-by-turn navigation.
would you like to use the phone wherever and whenever?
Anywhere,
without,
anytime.
without limitation, without limit.
Anywhere, anytime.
Perfect.
Okay, Marco, thank you. Now to Milton. Hello, Milton, who just joined us.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
Good, Milton. What have you been up to?
Sorry?
How are you?
I'm fine as well.
Good. Do you know what we're talking about today?
I'm reading the lesson, and I think all are convinced to you to buy an Apple device, an Apple phone. That's
Well,
right.
we'll give you a chance. Now, I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask me 3 questions because everybody else has asked me 3 questions. Good luck selling me an Apple or a Samsung phone if you don't know what it is I want. Okay, so each of the students has asked me 3 things. They've all asked me about what I currently want. So why don't you go ahead and start by asking me some questions to try and determine how to best sell me or market your product.
Okay, I can hear what all the people, all the students ask to you, and I think I try to ask something new. Okay, for how do you can how you can use the telephone? It's for music or for technology, for gadgets, for communication. How do you use?
How do I use the phone? As I've said earlier, it's primarily for communication. Voice, phone, messaging. I want it all to be simple. I
All
love
simple.
some of the new technology. I love brighter screens. I love some of the new software and applications. But if it doesn't do the communication part, if my battery is always dying, if I can't communicate with my friend because he's got Samsung and I've got Apple, or if I can't get a hold of my wife because I don't know where she is, then I don't care how many gigabytes it has or what size screen it is. Communication to me is the most important. Photos and video, it's great if it's got a good camera, but it's useless if the software is hard to use.
Okay, teacher. And in this part of communication, do you need a direct communication like push to talk thing,
No,
or only phone calls?
no, and it doesn't matter because if I need push to talk, I can download an app that allows me to do that, and there's several out there.
Okay, but it's different because the push to talk technology it's directly an app. It's more the app can fail because the connection of internet, right? And
I don't
push to
think it
talk.
matters. Whether you're using a service or software, it's what difference does it make? If you've developed it right, great. Technology can fail, both hardware and software, so I don't think it really matters.
Okay, and last last question. You how do I say this telephone that you need needs to be with a strong hardware. For example, if you drop it to the water, you need to have a phone with this technology about stealing the telephone for not to enter the water
Brilliant.
in the phone.
Excellent question. You know what? Besides battery life and the ability to communicate, I want the thing to survive. I don't want to have to worry about dropping it and it breaking. I want the thing to have some durability to it.
Okay, the battery and the hardware, right?
Well, durability, I don't care how, just make it durable. Make it
Okay,
strong, make it last, make it work.
okay, and that's my final question.
Okay. So you've all had some time to ask me questions. You've heard the answers to questions other students have asked. So I'm going to ask for volunteers to try and sell me on either a new Samsung. Now, I don't need you guys to know every detail about a Samsung product. You can make things up. You just got to sell me on it, convince me that this is the best product. Now with Apple, they're coming out with a new product probably on Tuesday. There's lots of rumors, but again, feel free to make up stuff if you want. I would like to have a bit of a balance between Apple and Samsung, so I hope you all don't pick the same one. Let's start with Abel. Are you ready to try and convince me on why I should buy?
Yes, teacher, but you don't you don't need a Samsung or an iPhone. You just need a Nokia 1100.
Who?
A Nokia 1100.
Who's
It's the
Nokia?
best. Nokia.
Yeah, who's Nokia?
It's a brand of cell phones, one of the first ones from Finland.
Yeah, oh, my grandparents had one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Microsoft recently bought
We're gonna,
Nokia.
we're gonna stick to, as I mentioned, Apple or Samsung,
Mhm.
and so you got to sell me on one of those two.
I guess between Samsung and Apple, maybe you need a Samsung, because Samsung has a more reliable signal, so you don't have to worry about the problem with the communication. The battery duration is longer than the iPhone, and you can choose the right size of the screen you want in the Samsung family. It's not the same in the iPhone. The iPhone is one size only.
Okay, is that your sales pitch?
Yes, it's not the sales pitch. It's a practical reasoning to
Well, you're trying to remember. You're trying to market to me, right? We've spent 14 minutes where you've been able to find out what it is I want in a phone. So yes, you are trying to sell me.
But you are not an emotional client. You are a very technical client. So I don't need to full of PS propaganda or publicity with you.
Okay, so let me go through your main points then, and since you don't want to BS me, let me look at the first point, reliable signal. Well, that's a bit of BS because your signal is largely dependent on the carrier.
Not only the carrier, but the antenna too.
Yeah, but it's largely the carrier.
I'm not sure about that, because the first Blackberries and the first iPhone had a problem with the antenna.
Yeah, but we're talking 10, 20 years ago. We're talking about new technology that's coming out. So if you're trying to sell me on reliable signal, that's so like 10 years ago. It's not. I want a reliable device. But if you're telling me reliable signal, well, then I'm thinking I've got 4 carriers in my area. There's one that I probably would not want to use. The other 3 are okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, the last thing I can.
Hold on.
Tell you,
no, you've already done your sales pitch. So let's look at the longer battery life.
Yeah.
It doesn't really help me. I want long battery life, but an adjective like that, longer, well, longer than what? How long will it last? That's what I care. Remember when I was asked, I said, I want it to last me a long time. I want it to last me all day or longer. So to say longer battery life, that means nothing to me. I don't know how long it's going to last.
Yes, teacher, because you are comparing just 2 mobile phones, so it's longer than the iPhone. It's just you have 2 choices, 2 alternatives. So I can assure you that Samsung has more duration in the battery.
Yeah, but I have no idea what that is, though.
But you are comparing two devices. You
No,
have
I'm not.
one. Yeah, you told me that.
No, no. What I said is I want you to try and market one of these devices to me. But in your
Uh,
marketing presentation, you haven't convinced me that, yeah, longer battery, saying it's longer battery life means nothing. It's in marketing we use terms like 90% pure or longer, faster, better, but these words mean nothing by themselves. If you say it lasts 10 hours, 20 hours, a week, okay, now I know as a simple person, I get it. If you say a reliable signal, well, no, but if you tell me you'll never drop a call, it has a much improved antenna, the construction is more rugged,
but
okay,
but
now,
but even
let me
that
finish.
even that information is bug, because if you use the cell phone to see YouTube all the day, I assure you that the battery lasts only 2 hours. Any
Okay, but
battery.
Abel, you're kind of missing what I'm trying to teach you here. I'm letting you know the problems with some of the points you're bringing up because it's not resonating with me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, right size screen. Well, what do you mean right size screen? I don't. Are there more than one size screen? You haven't
Yes,
convinced. Well, but you didn't tell me, right?
I can
So I
tell
don't
you.
know what that means. iPhone one size. Okay, maybe there is. I don't know, but I know there's iPhones and I know there's Samsungs, but I don't know what the right size is. You didn't tell me anything. So remember, know your market. I didn't really feel that you knew me or you were trying to sell something to me. There weren't enough details where they needed to be. If you're focusing on details, which you were, and if you're focusing on a user experience, you've got to focus on what the user wants to experience. Okay?
Yes, but
Hold on. No, because I've got to go on to Edson next. And then if there's
okay.
time, I'll give you guys examples of a feature-based way of connecting and a user experience. All right, Edson, you've got the floor.
Okay, sir. Well, I know you're looking for a reliable cell phone. I also know that you want to take some nice picture because you have a child and you don't want to miss that. So that's why I recommend that you buy the new iPhone 5S because it's the most reliable now in the market and it's also easy to use. So what do you think?
Well, what do you mean easy to use?
Well, it's this concept of usability. It means that everyone can use it. It's natural. You will find it really easy to use. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It's like it's made for children and
Are you saying I'm a
everyone.
child?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the cell phone it's really easy to use, that a child can use it.
Okay, so you're focusing more on usability.
Yeah, usability.
Okay, reliable phone, very similar to what Abel said. And okay, reliable, I expect everybody to tell me that. But the one thing where I kind of did this is when you said pictures. You talked about pictures, and all I could remember you saying is, and you just had a child and you want to be able to take pictures of your child.
Yeah, I think so.
So, I mean, that really resonated with me, okay? You knew I had a child, and like a lot of new parents, you'll be out and about, and, oh, I wish I had a camera. Well, I've got my phone with a great camera. I'll take a picture. So that sounds good. I don't know how many megapixels or how fast it is, but you connected with me on the usability and on what I need. So good. Easy to use. That's great, but you didn't really talk to why it's easy to use. Okay? Let me give you an example. So if I was you, I'm going to give a bit of a hint to you guys here. I would like to tell you a little bit about a great product I've got for you today. It's reliable. It doesn't drop calls. In fact, if you drop it, it doesn't break. It's got great technology. Are you out and about, need to take pictures of your newborn child, or you're with friends and you want to capture the moment? You don't need a camera. In fact, our camera's so good, it takes better pictures than many $1,000 cameras, and it's fast. great color, great pictures. It's so easy to use. Want to make a call? It's easy. Make a call. Surf the internet. Look, it's right here. You're driving, your hands are busy, no problem. Ask Siri. She'll tell you. She'll give you the answer. So see what I did there, Edson and Abel. I tried to resonate with you, communicate directly to you. I told you a little bit about some of the features, but I focused on simple, easy to use, provide you with a superior customer experience. It's that experience with technology that I tried to connect with. Great camera, yes, but why? Well, because when you're out with your friends and you need to take a picture, you've got something lightweight that takes terrific pictures, great color. Okay, so everything you can think of with those terrible cameras, the point and click, they're very slow, batteries don't last, and the color's terrible? No. I talked through that. Okay? So let's go to Marco now. Marco, which phone do you want to sell me on?
I want to sell you an iPhone 5S, the last model, because it has a 3 days long battery life. It can take a very good picture, so you can capture every moment of your life, and you can't lose any moment. It is very resistant from any fall from 1 meter high, any kind of fall from 1 meter high, and is a pocket size. He has a pocket size, and he works out in every countries. He has signal in every countries because he can work with every mobile operator.
Okay, that's it?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, excellent actually. So you told me it'll last for 3 days. Now that caught my attention. I liked the thought of that 3 days. Now you didn't tell me whether that's standby or talk time, but hey, 3 days on a modern smartphone, that's good. So I'm at least interested. You took what I said when I was talking to Edson very well. Very good picture to capture every moment of your life. Now that's good. Connecting directly to a person where these emotions and parts of their life matter. Very good. You talked about its durability. It can drop from 1 meter or 3.3 feet. That's excellent. Very interested in that. Pocket size. I don't know what kind of pocket, but generally, hey, it tells me it's small enough to fit, right? So, okay, it gives me an idea of size. I can take it with me anywhere in the world and it'll work on any carrier network. Okay. Doesn't matter to me a whole lot, but it impresses me because if I go to China or somewhere else in the world, I don't have to worry about how to stay in touch with people. So good job. I think you listened to the feedback I gave Edson and Abel. Good job. Milton, it's your turn.
Okay, teacher. I have a phone that you need, Simon, because this technology is the last of the market. Call it a phone blocks. You can assemble the phone with blocks that you need to use. In your case, you can put a normal camera for special moments in your life, a long battery with 3,000 milliamperes. The average size are 18,000 milliamperes, and with that you can talk hours and hours. And if you broke up the screen, that screen is 4 inches. you can replace with another screen. It's one block, and you can replace faster. Only you need a screwdriver. You retire the screen and you put the new one. Okay, and for the communication that you need, you can put in the same slot two of them. For if one of your mobile company fails, you can use the other one. And this phone uses the 4G technology for better communication. And in the future, if you need to use a better camera or a higher slot card or a higher battery, you can buy it, replace it wherever you want, and forget the problems with the water, because this phone is waterproof and sandproof, and that's all.
All right, thank you. First of all, great start. You need this phone. Oh, really? Well, why do I need this phone? Good start to get my interest up. You really started to pull me in with longer battery life. You were listening. But then you went into this stuff called milliamp hours, 3,000 and whatnot. Now, I know a little bit enough to know that has something to do with how long a battery can last, but as a user of the phone, I don't care. Okay. Now this depends on your market. If you're very technical people, which some Samsung people are, especially IT folk, I care about the milliamp hours. I care about how much RAM my phone has. I care how many cores the processor has.
Teacher,
hold on. Let me finish. So, now when you guys were asking me questions, remember I focused on just usability. I'm not a very technical person. Well, I am, but I don't care about the technology. I just want it to work. So, for example, this camera, I don't care how many megapixels it has. I just care when I plug it in, my computer recognizes it, and the picture is very clear. So telling me about long battery life in terms of how long it'll last, that helps. Talking to me about the minutia or detail, don't care. You also talked about can replace the screen with a screwdriver. You know what, if my screen breaks, I don't want to replace it. I'll just get another phone. What I would rather have is one that if I drop it, it's not going to break. Really, that's what I want. I've got a BlackBerry upstairs, and people say, it's great because you can pull the battery if there's a problem. Apple, you can't do that. Well, I'll tell you guys a secret. My wife has never had to pull her battery on her phone. I've pulled the battery on my phone so many times I can't remember. I don't think it's a feature. It's just an excuse for poor design. So I think your pitch is a very good pitch, Milton, but it's more for people that are very technical. They want to always upgrade their phone. They want to tinker with it. Me, I do like what you mentioned about talk for hours and hours. Now, that a specific number of hours, that does matter. The quality of the screen and how that allows me to view these pictures that I'm taking, that matters. And this is important, guys, because a lot of people make this mistake in marketing technology. They'll say how, and then Sony, PlayStation, and Microsoft do the same thing. They'll say, well, our console can produce screen resolution of X pixels by X pixels. It has so many GPUs at X speed gigahertz with X gig RAM, and I don't care. Now, what I do care about is you show me side by side, and the Sony looks crisper, clearer. It seems more lifelike, and it's not jumpy. That I get. That matters to me. So which way should you talk to people? Edson, which way do you think works best?
Well, I think works best to talk the person the way he or she understands.
Bingo.
Yeah, so if you know I don't know how many colors can be displayed in that cell phone. You just only need to tell him or tell her that it will look awesome and that's it, or that it's the best in the market.
Brilliant, Edson. And that's what we were talking about at the beginning of classes. Know your market. When we first started talking, we talked about BlackBerry and how it's primarily for business customers between the ages of 30 and 55 that want to have a secure form of communication. Now, I can easily go to a marketing company and say, hey, look, if I want to reach out to these customers, how do I best do it? They'll tell me, oh, you want to advertise on CNBC, you want to advertise on Bloomberg, and you want to do it between these hours. And these are the key words that you want to talk to. Okay? But you really have to know your market. Now, this doesn't just apply to selling stuff. For those of you in school, this has to do with getting the A. How do you get an A? Well, what does your professor want? What kind of writing style do they want? Give it to them. Don't give them what you want. Give them what they have asked for. And at work with your manager, quite often your manager will tell you what they need. And then it's just giving it to that person. Now, some of us sometimes we go, oh, I can do better than that. Well, you can, but what sometimes people miss is to do that better job takes a lot more time and you're less productive. You've exceeded my expectations, but not in a good way. Okay? So remember, it's about knowing your audience. I think you guys did a great job. I know for Abel and Edson, it's tougher because you went first. Abel, does it make sense what I'm saying?
Yes, teacher. I work in finance, so I don't have any of those aspects of marketing, and I don't really like them, and I really don't understand. Just a little more with your explanation, but you know, for me to make a decision, it's very rational and not. But I got your point of about to know the needs of the client. But in some cases, most of them, even the client don't know what he or she want. That's
No, you're right.
Mhm.
And that's why I think Apple has done so well, is because they look at a market. Apple is never the first company to market.
Mhm.
They don't invent the market. What they do is they revolutionize it. The iPad wasn't the first tablet. Tablets had been out for 10 years. Phones, as long or longer. What they did is say, hey, how can we make this better? So let me give you guys an example of how I might sell you a phone. Abel, I'd like to introduce you to a new phone I've got here. It's the new iPhone 6.
Mhm.
This phone has got the best security in the world. All the government's using it. The U.S. government is using it. It is secure and safe. We license technology from BlackBerry, and you don't have to worry about your data or your information being stolen. Communication, email, messaging, voice, however you want to, it's so easy to do. In fact, if you have trouble remembering the best way to communicate, you can always ask Siri, call my manager or message my manager, and the phone will do it for you. The phone knows who your manager is and knows your friends because it's in the address book. It's able to see what you normally do and anticipate what you need.
Mhm.
Now, I imagine phones and video aren't important to you. However, imagine you're in one of those meetings, you've been budgeting for an entire day, and you're tired. Your battery is just gone on your laptop, and you need to capture what's on the whiteboard. The camera is so good, with one picture it can capture all the detail.
Mhm.
All right?
Yeah.
So it is one of those phones that while it works at home with the family, It's very good in the business world. It's very good at protecting your information and enabling communication in any way you need. And it's durable. While you can't go swimming with it, it will survive dropping into a tub of water. It'll survive a monsoon rainstorm. In fact, you can even drop it on concrete from a meter and it will survive. The screen won't break or crack. It's durable. It's designed to operate in any climate condition and to last for days on end. Would this phone interest you?
It depends on the price.
That's a very good question. Well, this phone, we're going to sell it for $99 for a 2-year contract, or $600, the same price as the previous phone.
Which is the fee, the monthly fee for
Well,
the
that
service?
depends. Well, that really depends on which carrier you're with. So
okay.
whatever you're paying right now, it probably would be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I've run over the class time. I notice a couple you have left. I'm sorry.